All right, it looks like we are finally live. I want to make sure that everybody can hear us. Looks like it's there. It's your boy 5-Star Showtime from the 5starshow.com, your home for WWE, sports, gambling, and entertainment. And this is the 5-Star Show SummerSlam pre-show. We're doing this for a couple of reasons. Just to be honest with you, number one, I was supposed to be at my first job today. I had to call out because I got a crazy allergic reaction. I don't know what I was bit or stung by, but I'm allergic to something. So I've been covered in aloe vera and lotion all day. It's pretty disgusting. So if you see me scratching myself, like on my shoulder in this video, I haven't picked up the habit again. It's just I'm a little itchy. All right. Also, we need to do with this kind of as a test run. This is our first live show that we've done here on YouTube. The site has been around since January. Wasn't really prepared to do this for WrestleMania. I didn't have the necessary equipment to make it look or sound okay. So SummerSlam was always kind of the goal to get this going. And that's what we wanted to do. We're doing this as kind of a test run because we really want to have a good post show tonight, as long as I'm not too intoxicated. So that's kind of the thing there. So what we're going to do is we're going to run down a little bit of stuff for you so that you know what's going on. First of all, my name's 5-Star Showtime. My real name's Wesley. You can find me in the greater Nashville area here in lovely Nashville, Tennessee. I run the 5starshow.com. It is a WWE sports, gambling, and entertainment website. It's done pretty well so far. We launched in January after the Royal Rumble and having a lot of traffic over there. Don't have any advertisers at this point, though. So if you want to advertise with the show, with the website, however you want to do it, email me at 5starshowtime@gmail.com. That's 5 spelled out Five star showtime@gmail.com. Get in cheap before it gets expensive. Also, our website's home of the world famous weekend gambling guide. We've correctly predicted France to win the World Cup. We also predicted Brooks Koepka to win the PGA and Devin Booker to win the 3-point contest. We've done a lot of really good stuff over there, putting some money in people's pockets. We took the weekend off right now because it's all about SummerSlam, and that's what we're here for. So if you want to see us, go to the 5starshow.com. Now let's get into the predictions and previews. So first of all, I am all geared up for SummerSlam. I am super excited. I can't wait. And I'm going to run down some of my picks that I made. You can see this article at the 5starshow.com, WWE SummerSlam Final Predictions. It's the very first article on the page right now. I'm going to kind of cheat and look at it here and kind of keep us in order. We'll kind of go through the pre-show first. So Rusev Day, that's Rusev and Lana, versus Andrade, Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega. I wish this wasn't on the pre-show. You know, Rusev Day has gone from Undertaker down to AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, and now he's on the pre-show. So his decline is not so great right now, kind of going down. But ultimately, I wish this had enough to go for it. I'd like to see Andrade, Cien Almas on the actual main card, as well as Rusev as well. But really, when you think about it, you look at the rest of the card, there's only one other match that this could really replace, and that's the Baron Corbin Finn Balor card that's on the main or match that's on the main card. So I understand it. I would fully expect Aiden English to get involved again because that's what he's been doing lately. I'm honestly kind of over it. I have seen it. It's been done. He's messed up. He tries to do good. They forgive him. So I'm going to go with a little off-the-wall prediction here. I think that Aiden is actually going to be useful this time and help Rusev and Lana get the win. It would make more sense, I guess, from a story or just, hey, this guy's a new hotshot guy, meaning Andrade Cien Almas, to go forward and win. But I think they're going to go the other way. I think Rusev's going to get a win. Okay, he's lost to Undertaker. He's lost to AJ Styles. I think he gets a win here. And I think Aiden English is actually useful. I may be wrong in that prediction, but that's kind of how I feel what's going to happen. And we'll go from there. The Cruiserweight Championship, full disclosure. If you don't know anything about me, if you've never checked out the site before, I work a day job, a night job. I have a 2-year-old daughter, have a girlfriend, and I also try to run the website as much as I can. I am the founder. I am the writer. I've done 90 of the 92 articles or whatever it is on the website. So I don't have a lot of time in my schedule, and I'm still watching Monday Night Raw, still watching SmackDown, still watching the pay-per-views. Something has to give. It's 205 Live. I'm sorry. But one thing I do know is that these guys can go, and I've seen them in action before. But without knowing much of the storyline going into it, I really can't sit here and give you a great prediction. So I'll just go champion retains because that's pretty much all I can add to it. Moving on to the last match, or I don't know if it'll be in that order, but the third match of the pre-show would be the Raw Tag Team Championship. That is the B Team versus the Revival. I believe that professional wrestling needs a comedy act. I believe that you got to have somebody to be the fun, goofy character. It can't just be all serious, I hate you, I'm going to kick your butt type stuff. So I'm cool with the B Team being, kind of the fun act and making people laugh and being goofy. That said, I think it's run its course. I think it's time to start kicking some ass in the Raw Tag Team division again. And that's what the Revival's for. That's what they're here for. They are supposed to be a team from NXT that got called up, that really comes up here and dominates. And the Raw Tag Team division, in my eyes, is really AOP and the Revival. So let's get the belts on the Revival, let the AOP thing build up, and have a really good Raw Tag Team match. I don't know, Survivor Series or something. But let this thing build. B Team, it was fun. Axel, Dallas, they deserve a lot of credit. Been around the industry forever. And I'm glad they got the opportunity to be the tag team champions, but it's over. It is time. The Revival wins. That's my prediction there. Moving on to the main show. This order that I'm kind of keeping it in is based off of a CBS Sports article. I believe Brian Campbell did the article. If I'm wrong on that, you can correct me. But kind of kept things in a logical order. I don't know that this will be the match order. In fact, I'm sure it won't be, but at least it will kind of keep us organized. So in that theory, the next match would be Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor. I don't know how much more clear I can be when I say this. I give 0 Fs about this match. 0. I understand that Corbin and Balor have been putting on some decent matches. I do. I get it. Finn Balor could put on a decent match with anybody, probably me. And Corbin has shown improvement since he's been the Constable. Not the Demon. Don't bother. All right. Next up on the list is the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. So that would have the Bludgeon Brothers as your reigning defending champions against the New Day. I've really enjoyed the Bludgeon Brothers. I know it's kind of hokey. I know it's kind of gimmicky, but I really have liked their thing. I just feel like New Day is going to win it. It's been a while since New Day's been the champions. New Day's fun, man. I mean, every time I think their act, may grow stale, it just doesn't. They're fun. People love them. I enjoy them. My friends enjoy them. They still can really entertain the crowd. So I think I'm going to pick New Day here. I don't have a ton of confidence in it, but New Day can win this, and then we can have Bludgeon Brothers go on a destroying spree, or maybe somehow get the Usos back involved. We have the Bar. I mean, the whole SmackDown tag team roster is pretty good right now. And that tournament that they had, that briefcase, Kevin Owens is not getting the briefcase. It's Braun. He's going to win it. He will still be Mr. Monster in the Bank. Okay. Going down the list here, the United States Championship from SmackDown. It's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura. He is your champion against Jeff Hardy. I just think it's too soon for Shinsuke to take the belt, to lose the belt at this point. Shinsuke had numerous opportunities at the WWE Championship with both Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles. And then he got the United States Championship rather quickly. I think it's time to, go ahead and keep that belt on him. Let him see what he can do with a belt. And I'm a big Shinsuke guy. I don't love all the low blows. I still don't really love the new theme music, even though it fits his new character. But I think we got to give Shinsuke a chance. The main question here is, how does Randy Orton get involved? He's been lurking around and interfering and beating people up over the last month, basically, in this this part of the show with the United States Championship. I would just say maybe it gets a last-minute triple threat. I don't know. But regardless of what happens, I'm thinking Shinsuke keeps the belt here. and is still your United States United States champion, excuse me. Intercontinental Championship. We've got Dolph Ziggler, and he's going to have Drew McIntyre in his corner. And we've also got going against Seth Rollins with mean buff Dean Ambrose. I'm not a huge Dean Ambrose guy. The girlfriend loves him. A lot of people do love him. I'm not a huge Dean Ambrose guy, but when I saw him pop out on Raw with the haircut and with the muscle definition, like he's actually been to the gym, I was pretty impressed. And if he can stay this lunatic character, I'm good with him. If he's the wear a big purple cowboy hat, joking, messing around Dean Ambrose, I'm not into that. But when he's Mean Dean, I'm all in. And I think there's a lot of theory out there about, rumor and innuendo, as the popular podcast would say, Mr. Conrad. What I would, where that's going is there a heel turn? Does Dean come out here and turn on Seth Rollins? Even does Drew McIntyre and Dolph, do they have problems? Do they have a split up? I don't think we're going that route at this point. I think we're going to have a good, solid match because it's Seth and Dolph. There'll be that interference between Drew and Dean. But ultimately, I think Seth Rollins walks away with the Intercontinental Championship, and Dean Ambrose maybe helps him or at least gets Drew McIntyre off his back. I don't think there's any crazy twist here at this point, maybe later on, but I really think at this point it's legit. Dean is cool with Seth. Seth is cool with Dean. Seth is the new Intercontinental Champion after this match is all said and done. The Miz versus Daniel Bryan. An interesting note, this is as of yesterday, probably around 3 o'clock or so. The Miz was actually the betting favorite, according to Five Dimes. We found that through OddsShark online. I love to gamble. The most read stuff on my website is the Weekend Gambling Guide. That said, I do not bet on professional wrestling. I will not bet on scripted entertainment, and I would advise you not to do the same unless you're betting like $5 with your friends, okay? But do not bet serious money on scripted sports entertainment. Don't do it. It's stupid, okay? Take it from somebody who's made some bad bets before. Don't do it, okay? But all that said, The Miz is actually the favorite. I think that this is pretty easy. Daniel Bryan wins this match. He goes into championship contention. Whether it's going against Shinsuke for the U.S. or whether it's going all the way up to the winner of AJ Styles Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. I think Miz, he's doing the reality show. He's doing, he has his daughter. It's a similar situation. I would guess that Daniel Bryan's kid's a little bit older, but I think Miz, is eventually going to take some time off and chill. And maybe he goes away for a little bit and does his reality show stuff, does whatever, takes care of his baby and all that good stuff. Seems like he's doing a great job. That Miz and Mrs. show, by the way, is highly entertaining. I don't know how much of it is actual reality, but it's very entertaining, and they got renewed for a second season. So obviously I'm not the only one that agrees. But that said, I think this is pretty simple. Daniel Bryan's going to win this match. I got a buddy, Jeremy, that's really into this stuff, and he thinks that it's going to be interesting to see where this match is placed on the card. He thinks that if it's like the first match to get everybody going, that Daniel Bryan is going to win and make the crowd happy for the, I guess, the way it's probably going to end with Roman Reigns winning at the very last, but, we'll get to that. But he thinks if it's the very first match, Daniel Bryan wins. Otherwise, The Miz wins it. The only reason I can see The Miz winning this is if they want to continue this storyline to delay a little bit of the fact that neither one of these guys are in title contention at this point. Maybe they feud some more and then start split off and start going for titles, whether it's US or WWE on SmackDown. I could see that because, if Samoa Joe beats AJ Styles, then AJ Styles is going to want a rematch. If somebody beats Shinsuke, whether it's Randy Orton, if he's involved, or Jeff Hardy, there could be a rematch angle there. You might have to delay these guys going up for the titles, but it's time for Daniel Bryan's comeback to actually mean something. Okay. He had the WrestleMania match with Shane McMahon, who's not a wrestler. Sami Zayn, who does nothing for me, and Kevin Owens, who's great. Then he had what with Big Cass, okay, who's no longer working anymore, at least for the main company. And then he went on to reunite with Kane, and they had a Bludgeon Brothers thing. This is not exactly the comeback to the WWE push that I expected for Daniel Bryan. I thought he would be, pretty much in title contention from day one. That hasn't been the case. So if he gets the win over Miz, he's right back in it, and I think that this is the stepping stone to title contention. We'll see how it goes, though. I'm picking Daniel Bryan for this one. Next up in my order here, the SmackDown Women's Championship. And this will be Carmella, who's the champion, versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. I absolutely love the build of all of this for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I love the way they're treating Carmella. She's acting like a diva or whatever, but she's still the champ. She's beat Asuka twice, Charlotte Flair twice. I love how they're saying all that. It's great heel. It's great heel stuff. It's the way it's supposed to be. Becky Lynch, she's got built back up. She's winning again. She gets her title shot, beating Carmella. And we're like, yay. And Becky Lynch, I love Becky Lynch. I mean, I would marry her right now if I could. That's how much I love her. But anyways, if she, she's finally got her chance. She's finally, hey, I'm going to go against Carmella. I'm going to win the title. And enter Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch's best friend. Charlotte gets an opportunity at the title by beating Carmella. And now this is a triple threat. So the whole storyline with this of the two best friends, hey, we might have to have problems. We got to go against each other. We got to get to the same ultimate goal. That's a great story. But I think that story can continue to be told with Carmella finding a way to win. And whether there's issues with Charlotte and Becky, whether one of them costs the other the match, whether Becky goes crazy and turns into a heel. However it happens, somehow I think Charlotte finds a way to retain this title. And you can continue the story from there. So I'm going Charlotte when it comes to the SmackDown Women's Championship. Next up, the Raw Women's Championship. This is Alexa Bliss as your champion versus Ronda Rousey. And I've really overthought this. I've really overbooked it mentally in my head. Okay. In my mind, Ronda looks strong. Ronda comes out, but there's a DQ finish or there's a screwing around. I mean, it's something weird. Alexa finds a way to keep her title. Okay. I think Ronda goes out and kicks a bunch of ass, but she doesn't leave as the champion. And Alexa Bliss finds a way as a sneaky heel to retain. Okay. That's what happens in my brain. But then I take a step back and I think WWE didn't bring Ronda Rousey in here to lose. Okay. At the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, when Alexa cashed in on Nia, Ronda was almost an afterthought there. Ronda Rousey is not an afterthought. She is an attraction. The WWE did not bring her here to lose. So I'm going to go with that theory on the official prediction, and I'm going to say Rousey wins the match and wins the title. No DQ nonsense, whatever. It may be teased, but I think Ronda legit wins the championship and legit beats Alexa Bliss. That's where I'm going with that prediction. All right, we're down to our two main championships. First off, from SmackDown, the WWE Championship. Jeremy's going to kill me for saying it like that. That's going to be AJ Styles entering as the champion versus Samoa Joe. This is one of those things, like I said in the article, you ever get in a fight with your spouse or an argument with your spouse, significant other, whatever, and you're in this argument and you're losing the argument. Like you realize like, oh crap, she's got a point. But you still keep going. You just keep going with the argument. That's how I feel about this. Samoa Joe's not going to win this title. He's not. because he hasn't won a title or really done anything of significance on the main roster. But I'm going with him anyway. I'm going with Samoa Joe. And the reason I'm going with Samoa Joe is mostly a history thing. So AJ Styles recently became the longest reigning SmackDown World Champion of all time. So that means he's got to lose. Because when records are set or broken, that record setter, record breaker, usually doesn't extend that record or streak very long afterwards. You think about the New Day when they had the tag team, the longest reigning tag team champs in WWE history. They lost it shortly right thereafter, I believe, to the Bar at that time. And John Cena won his 16th World Championship to tie Ric Flair against AJ Styles. And then he lost it like 20 minutes later, not really 20 minutes, but 2 weeks later to Bray Wyatt in Elimination Chamber. So I think AJ Styles just set that record. Now it's time to do something different. Samoa Joe wins it in front of the Brooklyn crowd. I think they would love it. I love AJ Styles. I love Samoa Joe. I think this is going to be an excellent match. It would be my headliner, but with the possibility of the Money in the Bank cash in, I just know that that's not going to be the case. Plus, it's Roman and Brock. I'll be curious where they put this match on the card. I would almost, if you're not going to make it the headliner, open up with it. Book in your show with your WWE Championship and your Universal Championship. That's how I would do it. If they're not going to make it the main event, then make it the first event. And because at WrestleMania, the AJ Nakamura match, because it was so long and where it was placed, it didn't get the crowd response. It didn't get the reaction that I thought it deserved. I don't want WWE to place this match at a cool down point, essentially. I mean, this show is going to last forever. The show starts in 25 minutes with the pre-show, or 35 minutes with the pre-show at 4 o'clock Central. Main show starts at 6. I mean, this thing may not end till 11 o'clock. So they're really going to have to do a good job of spacing out these matches, and the placement of this WWE Championship match will make a big difference. Especially when you do a show in the same venue as you did last night. NXT crowds are a little bit different than WWE crowds, obviously, but still, it's a lot of wrestling in one area. Plus, you have Raw and SmackDown there tomorrow and the next night. So you just don't want to see two guys like this, Joe and Styles, have their match affected because the crowd is exhausted after 10 hours of wrestling or whatever it is. So I'm going to go Samoa Joe as that official prediction. Samoa gets his shot. And that's how I'm going to roll with that. I think that's going to be what happens. And now we're down to the Universal Championship. I've been wrong about this prediction. I thought they were just going to give it to Roman at WrestleMania. I thought they would do Roman at Saudi Arabia. I've been wrong. But you know what? When in doubt, keep sticking with it. As much as I would love Brock to have the belt going into his Daniel Cormier fight and be a two-sport champion, I just don't think it's going to happen. You got to pull the trigger on Roman at some point here with this. Otherwise, you need to send him to the mid-card. And I don't think they're sending his ass to the mid-card. So Roman Reigns wins it. I think it's a legitimate win. I think it's a 1-2-3 on Brock. And Roman Reigns is your new Universal Champion. I think they'll do maybe a delay or an extended celebration to get the crowd hoping that Braun might cash in, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Braun's cashing in tonight. I think there's no cash-in attempt. I really think that everybody wants a cash-in attempt. Okay, Roman wins it. But he's going to cash in. He's going to cash in. It's going to happen. And then it just doesn't happen, and Roman's your champion, and we're like, fuck, but it happens. And it doesn't happen when it comes to the cash-in. Shit happens when it comes to who your champion is. But I think Roman walks away as your Universal Champion. No cash-in from Braun Strowman. So to review, let's go just through the winners here so we can, laugh at how wrong I am on the post-show. The post-show will start approximately 15 minutes after the main event, after the show ends. Give me time to smoke a cigarette, crack open a beer, and eat a slice of pizza before we do the post show. Here are my winners: Rusev Day, Cedric Alexander, The Revival, Finn Balor, New Day, Braun Strowman, Shinsuke, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Carmella, Ronda Rousey, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns. That would make for 1, 2, 3. Counting title changes here. 4. Let's see here. 5. 6. That would count for 6 title changes. So obviously I'm going to be wrong because they're not changing damn 6 titles. As far as title retentions here, you'd have the Cruiserweight retaining. That's 1. Shinsuke retains. That's 2. And that's that's it. So obviously I'm going to be wrong on some of my predictions. They're not going to do 6 title changes on one show. But I'm still rolling with it, and we'll see how wrong I was at the end. That's going to wrap it up for the pre-show for the 5starshow.com, your home for WWE, sports, gambling, and entertainment. That's what the merchandise looks like there. I'm going to lift this up and show you. It's the 5-Star Show. Go to the website, check it out. We are starting our official podcast September 2nd. That's going to be hosted by SoundCloud, and we're already going to be on Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. Working on the iTunes deal right now. You can find me on Twitter. I am at 5. That's the number 5 Stars Showtime, at 5 Stars Showtime, the number 5. Or you can go to the show's page, which is at the 5-Star Show. And if you want to advertise, whether it's on the website or on the show podcast or one of these shows like this, you can email 5, that's F-I-V-E, starshowtime at gmail.com. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope everybody enjoys SummerSlam, and we'll see you about 15, 20 minutes after the show ends. Thank you so much.